Welcome to the Circle of Grace One. I'm your host, Chief Principal Teacher and Founder, Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey. The Circle of Grace One was founded on July 2nd, 1999 AD, under the aegis and the anointing of the Angel of Grace through divine providence. It gave birth to its very own spiritual and metaphysical institute on February the 7th, 2009, called the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance. And I like to call them as one big happy family. The Circle of Grace One is the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance. Well, I am the founder, the chief principal teacher, bishop, and host of both, Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey. And I am happy to be here this evening live. We usually always have some little tech issues. I'm still learning how all of this works. But I've been broadcasting on live since November 2008 through various resources, various websites. And I've been here the longest, just about the longest, with Ustream. Well, after every program, you will be able to come back and watch it in the archives again, or you could go over to YouTube to my Circle of Grace One channel over there. And if you go over to YouTube, you will be able to, let me just unbutton this a little bit, you'll be able to go there and review not only tonight's live broadcast, which should be on for about 30 minutes, and all the other ones I've done before. I have over about 60 plus that I've saved there, 60 plus videos that I've saved. You might be able to listen to some audio ones there also, but for the most part, there are a lot of video recordings right there that I've broadcasted in the past. So I always make sure I do that, is give you that opportunity to watch it here live, or go over to the archives right here, or go over to my YouTube channel. Well, what I want to talk about before I get into speaking this brief show, which is entitled The Power to Be, or meaning we all have the power to be, and how, and that is the power to be and do and have whatever we want, like right now. But it's all about clearing ourselves. And I want to take an excerpt from my most recent volume 4, issue number 11, that came out on October the 1st, 2014, called Two Bears, my e-newsletter that comes out every month. So I want to take the excerpt from here, which comes under the subheading as the infinite power of divine grace. And I want to teach from that and share that information. But before we do that, let me say this. Through divine power and by divine grace, may anyone who watches tonight's show, may you be highly blessed, highly moved. May the information that you hear be able to assist you immediately. May you be able to put it right into practice for yourself and make it your life on a daily basis more functional. May other things that you hear me talk about this evening be a blessing to you also. May it seed into your life in a way that brings greater happiness, greater understanding, self-improvement, self-empowerment to you, so that your purpose in life is clearer for you, so that you can impact the world, you can influence yourself, your family, your neighborhood, and bring peace, harmony, and happiness to all that you meet. Amen, and so shall it be. Well, as I say, this comes from my most recent Two Bears e-newsletter. And if anybody wants to purchase Two Bears, you can simply go to http colon double forward slash www.circleofgrace with the number one at the end .net, or you can just type it in http double forward slash circle of grace with the number one at the end .net, or put www.circlegrace1.net. Either way, it should take you there. When you come to the home page, you're going to see on the right hand side a right hand bar, a series of pink or more like purple links. And if you scroll down, that very top one, you'll see home page and services. You want to click on services, and it'll bring you to the next page. When you come to that next page, go to the left, scroll down, and look for Two Bears. And you can buy a 6-month subscription for $25 a year using PayPal, or a full 1-year subscription for $45, saving you $5. for 1 year. And you can fill it out right there and purchase and get on the ball, get online, and get it right in your inbox. Now, there's a lot of information that comes out. Sometimes it's 6 pages, 7 pages, 10 pages. Sometimes it comes out to about 4.5 to 5 pages long. When it comes to your inbox, what I do, some people are not familiar with PDF, but what I do is I send it to you in Word document form, and I'll also give it to you. It comes like in rich text format, and I'll also send you a copy in PDF so you can download both and have it. Okay? Sometimes a PDF you can't print out, but if I give it to you in the rich text format Word document, you can't change anything, but you can go there and just download it to your laptop or your desktop and then print it out for yourself. Or you can put it on a disk. Maybe you like to keep each copy for yourself. Okay, so this is something for you, something for everybody. And in this Two Bears, there's always 3 sections in the Two Bears. The first section is the Infinite Power of Divine Grace. The second section is the Grace Key of Remembrance for that month. And then the third section is a original creative path work meditation, either a meditation itself that you could read and for yourself and induce yourself that way, or you could take the assignment that you see there. So what I want to do with you right now is share this infinite power of divine grace and remembrance topic that I've made it more concise, the power to be. And I'm going to read and teach at the same time. You know, the beauty of grace as divine grace is always upon us as an intelligent energy form connected to the one divine primary source we refer to by many names, such as the universe, universal spirit, divine source, the great I am presence, the creator of the universe, the supreme one God, or the supreme one, or just God, G-O-D. And there's so many other names. But, or attributes, it's endless, of course. Also, we know that the numerous civilizations from the past to the present have attributed many spiritual and divine attributes as well. So there is no accident that we find that we're always continuing to seek a deeper connection and relationship with this divine source. We're always doing that. Aren't you always saying something that's connected to the divine source? Now, maybe what I say here doesn't connect with everybody, and it's not supposed to. This is a channel broadcast for those individuals who are like-minded that are seeking this information. If you don't find anything here of value, you don't have to listen to it. You don't have to give any comments. What I do state is that your comments are healthy comments and respectful comments and positive comments. Because whatever you see here, whatever you take into your own life, whatever you do for yourself, whether you're using this information or not, should always be healthy for you. And that's one of the things about the Circle Grace One. It's about helping you get a healthier context, frame of context for your consciousness to grow. Well, as we get back to this, throughout quote-unquote history, from the ancient to the modern times, the so-called secret societies and occult groups have driven themselves high and low. That's right, driven themselves high and low to find the meaning behind such sought-after tools of enlightenment and eternal life, such as the Holy Grail, the pyramids of Egypt, the Mayan and the Aztec step pyramids, the elixir of life, rejuvenation, immortality, alchemy, and the oneness with God, just to name a few. This is known to many, or as I call it, the journey of a lifetime. For those who are called the seekers of the light and of truth, have these memories intact from a previous lifetime, what they can remember in this world that they now live in. And so we find that many people in the past 100 years or as far back as 50 years have this common goal of every man and woman has wondered often about his or her true connection and the role in these studies that impact us from generation to generation, especially what is uniquely a part of as our birthright and divine rights as spiritual sentient beings here and now. So it is obvious that we're all searching for this, right? We're all looking for this. We all are seeking some kind of tool that can help us what? Do better. Well, what is the main tool or main tools that we've been using? Now, we pondered for many hours, we contemplate for many hours how to be. So, what can help us? Well, you could sit down at the feet of a master and let the master teach you. You could share with like minded people, right? Just like many wise men and women have traveled into the marketplaces in the center of cities to hear and to listen and to share their wisdom that they have attained, their knowledge that they have attained, and they begin to share that. By what? Through discussions. You know, back in certain neighborhoods, there's the barber shop and there's the beauty salon and there's these places where people congregate and can talk. What? Share those ideas over a cup of coffee, over tea. Sit down and share the ideas. Sometimes it's a healthy conversation. People get very excited about their views, and that's okay. It's healthy. Why? You're talking about it. You're allowing yourself to express it without any source of anger behind it. Because you know our words can impact another. So we want to watch how we say what we say and bring the thoughts across to many. So as we go throughout our life and our worldly things that we do day to day, we're consciously traveling and seeking this information. But when you're alone, you have some books. And nowadays, technology makes it the slicker the technology is. You got a DVD, you got a CD player, you got an MP sound player, you got an iPod, you got an iPad, you got all of these tools. You got your Android phone and your iPhones. You got all of these tools to help you what? Gather all this information. But before all those tools, what did you have? You had to walk yourself or drive yourself to the nearest library or the nearest bookstore to be able to get this information, to sit down and read about it. You had to scour through the reference part of the library and look in the index cards and look up your subject matter. Spend hours doing that and then going into the different sections, whether the reference section of the library where you couldn't take the books out, or go into the main part of the library where you could sit down, read the book a little bit, get an idea, and then take it to the central desk and sign it out on your library card. So here you are now. You got Kindles and you got everything else to get this information. But one of the slickest or the oldest technologies is self. Prayer, meditation, and decrees. These are the ancient tools of personal transformation, of personal self improvement, attunement, alignment to that which is considered and known as eternally the divine source, God. So we find these sources and we look at all the ascended masters, the ones that walked the face of the earth as masters, and then a transition by whatever vehicle of the transition was, it allowed them still to leave their footsteps clearly behind, leave their tools, their teachings with those who followed them. And those who didn't have followers, sometimes they left signs in other places. But the main goal here was to what? Change your core belief systems. There's certain things that we've been using that don't work anymore. So in order to be better, to become more expansive, to really let this spirit in us come to the surface, we have to let go of some old core issues, some old belief systems. We have to let go of some illusionary thoughts and falsehoods that we thought were real and true. We used to hear all the time, well, you can never amount to anything. You'll never will amount to anything. Oh, you're not smart enough to figure things out. Oh, you can't, you can't, why would you want to learn how to paint? Or why you want to have a career as a musician? They don't go anywhere. Well, sometimes people who said all of that were people who never done it themselves, or who never kept trying, or yeah, let's drop the word trying, just kept at it till they got some level of success for themselves. Or there are people who are not like the wealthiest, but have been out there and have been doing their talents and their skills. And they might be known to a small community of people, and yet their name might be planted all over the country in different ways just by word of mouth. So, the power to be, you have to come to the level of what it is that you're trying to be. What are you looking to put forward? What are you looking to birth into your life? Because as you get rid of the old teachings, the old thought patterns, the old emotional behaviors, as you release that, as you get rid of all the doubts and illusions and all the self-hatred and all the self-anger, after you've gotten rid of that and hopefully didn't fall into the valley of depression, once you got rid of all of that, what are you working toward? What is it that you are desiring to place forward in your life? Well, people are talking about the shift. Before the end of 2012, for a while there, everybody was thinking the world is going to blow up. Everything is coming to a close. The civilizations are dying out. There's no hope for this humanity. Yet, on one pole, 180 degrees away, there were people that kept saying, we will be here. We will become more knowledgeable and more understanding. We will have greater sensitivity. And all of those were here. And many people laughed. Many people laughed at the New Thought communities, like the Science of Mind and Unity. Many people put down, quote unquote, the New Agers. But guess what? Those people kept saying, we'll still be here. And looky. We're still here. We're already coming up on what, a 2-year anniversary. We're still here. Well, wars are always out there. Skirmishes are always happening. There are people who have a lack of this and a lack of that, but most of all, a lack of self. Then there are people who are trying to oppress everybody else because they lack stuff too. They think everything is just a limitation, or they're thinking that their religion is the only one. Well, no, we're all here together, and we're all walking maybe a different path, and we're talking about the same God. But that God is not an angry God. It's the spirit that is not angry. It's man that can get angry. It's man that destroys things. It's man that's got to make a change. The late MJJ, Michael Joseph Jackson, said, take a look at yourself in the mirror and change who you see. Then you'll see your world begin to change. That's what he said in so many words. So the new earth that people are searching for is happening right now. And how do these changes come about? I'm just paraphrasing through. By the storytellers. In the old ancient indigenous tribes, they had the griot, the storyteller, who would go from village to village and talk to the children and talk to the adults and young adults and have a story to tell. Every village has a storyteller. And that storyteller is somebody who's going to put forth positive information, is going to remind you of your traditional values, but also remind you of the ability of your community and your people to be leaders naturally, to be healers naturally, to be the do-gooders naturally, to put things out that will enliven the mind, that will impact the community, and then move people to a higher purpose within themselves. In other words, get people excited about living and being and having more joy in their lives. So we know that we come to a point that we're never alone. In fact, I had a channeled message from the spirit of the ancient master, Pharaoh master, Akhenaten, and he said to look at the word all one, alone, actually is all one. We are never ever alone, he said, because we are all one. And ALONE means the one. Al or il is like the article of one. It puts a further emphasis. So when you know that you are the one who's what? As we are working toward this concept of being of oneness, we are all one. We've been waiting patiently for ourselves to arrive at this through all the reflections and contemplations that we're the one. I had a Native American friend back east. He gave me 10 words that were made up by 2 letters. And it was 2 sentences. And he said, Brother Francis, Bishop Francis, it was about me dropping more weight. He said, if it is to be, it is up to me. If it is to be, it is up to me. So you might influence other people. You might be able to gather a crowd of people to help you out, to go forward. But in essence, if that doesn't work out, it is up to you because the message was transmitted to you. And first you had to digest it for yourself, and then you had to begin to do what? To become that. So you had the power to be that which you are striving and feel driven to do. So yes, just like Aconington said, we are never alone, for the word alone means the one and all one. And these are important parts of us to understand that the infinite power of divine grace and remembrance is right there. Right there in every cell. So if we're trying to accomplish something, you have to be something in order to accomplish it. You have to overcome the fear, but you got to understand where that fear is coming from. You have to literally almost hit rock bottom sometimes, so you can feel that energy and say to yourself, I don't want to be there. I don't want to go back there. I don't want to go backwards in my life. I want to pedal forwards in my life. So you want to be able to move forward. Now, anything that I'm talking about here is something that most of you, if not all of you, have already been doing it. You've been making the changes all along in your life. Sometimes you have many people that want to go for a ride with you, want to be on the wagon with you, to float with you and get there. But each person that's in your parade, each person eventually has to they have to go inside and figure it out for themselves. They have you as an example. They got plenty of books and movies and DVDs and concerts and things that they can go to, and lectures and seminars and workshops and retreats. But they still have to work at themselves. They have to peel away each layer, get to that core, find out what that fear, that doubt, that illusion, where all of that self-sabotaging comes from, and get all of that out of the system, and then step into being. This is why it's so powerful that we should never let fear override our power to be, do, and have for ourselves. So, what I'm going to do now is I want to share something very briefly with you. And this next section is called the Grace Key of Remembrance, and it's all about this. What is the Grace Key of Remembrance? Well, the Grace Key of Remembrance is I have the power to be, do, and have. Now, how are you going to get to that point? I'm going to give you an affirmation. Now, this phrase, and I always want to say where it comes from because a lot of people use it, but they don't give the credit. So I'm not the one that came up with the phrase to be, do, and have. That comes from the late Dr. Reverend Frederick Aiken, if I can say it, his name, Aiken Rakota, which everybody called him Reverend Ike back in the day. He transitioned the same year, within a month or two that the late Michael Jackson did. And I'm just going to paraphrase what he used to teach to millions of people worldwide, whether he was broadcasting it or he'd come there up into the Fort Washington side of Harlem, New York City, New York. He'd say, you can be, do, and have whatever you want, but You are the one who defines that for yourself. Lest you let the group or world mind, which is the collective mind, define these for you. So he always used to teach this. You got to have the energy to take a look at yourself, to want to change yourself, so you have this power to be greater than what you see. So if you have this power to be, then you're going to put yourself on a course of action so you can do, and then you'll be able to receive, which is to have something in your life for yourself. So we're going to bring forth some, give yourself a permission. So I want you to give yourself a permission to go forth with these simple tools. Now all we have to do is find them along with ability and capacity to take charge of our own lives and diligently keep doing things that lead us into experiencing a better life. So this is about the power to be, but it's really stating the title, we have the power to be, do, and have. So here's an affirmation. And you're going to place your name into this. So the affirmation begins, I now affirm. Now the word affirm means that you know that this is a true statement already for you. I now affirm that I, and then you say your name, have the power to be whatever I want, do whatever I want, and have whatever I want in my life now. Now means in the moment, and it's your life is a moment-to-moment thing here, a moment-to-moment journey. So let's repeat that affirmation. I now affirm that I, and then you say your name, have the power to be whatever I want, do whatever I want, and have whatever I want in my life now. Now say this with emotional feeling, because our emotions are like the magnetic part of ourselves, our emotional body. And when we say something, we have energy behind it, we issue that thought out like electricity, going and coming. So we have this biomagnetic field, magnetic and electrical, incoming and outgoing. So now let's say it with feeling. I now affirm that I, say your name, have the power to be whatever I want. Put that emphasis on whatever. Whatever I want. Do whatever I want. And have whatever I want in my life now. Now take a moment to feel that energy in yourself behind your words. And as you do that, we're going to shift this now into a decree. Now, a decree is an authoritative statement that you're making that has no doubt in your mind about this, what you're speaking of is going to occur into your life quickly and easily and effortlessly. And also the fact that you're not going to go backwards on the word that you speak. So the word is the power, see, that you're putting into this through the energy. So now you decree, I see, meaning you not only see with your physical eyes, but you understand. And decree, I mean you can declare now and proclaim this, that I, say your name, shall be. When I say shall be, that means without a doubt. Shall be whatever I desire. So now the want took you from a feeling of I need this to desiring it. Healthy desire. Okay, so let's go over this again. I see and decree that I, say your name, shall be whatever I desire, shall do whatever I desire, and shall have whatever I desire. Now here's the part. For I am the power to be, do and have whatever is in my heart, and God as divine providence and my infinite unfailing supply of abundant prosperity and infinite abundance is in every form in my life right here and now. See, I am is the, as they say, the mystic name of God, of the power of the universe. I am that I am. See, you're a reflection. We're all reflections, and God is infinite. So we're all reflections of God. Every living thing you see around yourself is a reflection of God. The earth and the pebbles and the birds and the bees and the worms and the fish in the sea, the mammals in the sea and the birds in the air and the creeping things. All of this is an expression of the divine. And you're a part of that expression that has an intelligent force within itself. You are that Holy Spirit in motion inside of you that's living this. So let's have this decree again. Decree, I see and decree that I, say your name, shall be whatever I desire, shall do whatever I desire, and shall have whatever I desire. For, and this is the reason behind it, I am, divine, caps, I am the power to be. I am that I am, the power to be, do and have whatever is in my heart, and God as divine providence, and my infinite unfailing supply of abundant prosperity and infinite abundance is in every form in my life right here and now. So we're saying, we'll put it in the present tense. Is the abundance. God is in every form. See, so if God is in every form, that which you're calling God is in every form. And if you have no belief in God, then you are the form. You are the form. You are the form. But what is giving you life and breath to be that form? You didn't give it to yourself. Something gave it to you to move on. That something is far greater, called your infinite spirit, moved you into place. So I want to leave this with you, that we all have this power to be, do, and have. What we're all one. We're all self-sufficient. We are the one that we're patiently and eagerly waiting for to perform this task, which is not above us and is not beneath us to perform it. We just have to do what? Go past the belief system and say, I am that I am that I am. Yes, we are creative beings, but something created the opportunity for you to be here. If you created yourself, then you should be able to remember that you did so. See, that's the interesting factor. Can you remember creating yourself, giving yourself the opportunity? You can only think back to a certain part. Why? Because there's so much light around us that it's very difficult to bring this light into being, into greater understanding, but each and every one of us is doing it. Somewhere around the world, someone is creating the opening so that there is a divine remembrance, and so that you can remember. Somewhere in the world, someone is speaking these words and have a greater influence on their surroundings and their environment. It's like that 100th monkey principle. It's like the butterfly that flaps its wings, that creates a subtle surge, a subtle wave 3,000 miles away that can be felt. Someone else that's plugged into this system can feel this. These words that I speak. Someone could feel it. Someone could feel the emotion. Someone could feel the energy behind the words, behind the sounds that come to me, that come in the form of sounds or words. Somewhere, someone, or many ones are getting it. And what? Living it out. The power to be, do, and have. Thank you for joining me this evening for this short program. I hope that you'll be able to see it later. I hope that you'll be able to come to it again and again and again. Here at Ustream, many of these shows are only in the system for 30 days. But after each show, I upload it to my YouTube channel. All you got to do is go to YouTube and type into the search bar Bishop Francis E. Revels-Bey. Francis is spelled Francis, middle initial E, last name capital R as in Robert, E like Eddie, V like Victor, E like Eddie, L like Lawrence, S like Sam, hyphen or dash capital B, E, Y. B like Brahmin, if you can spell that. Anybody can spell it. B like Brown. B like Bay. EY. Or just type in Circle of Grace with the number 1 at the end. It should take you right to my channel. Well, thank you for watching tonight's show. It's Monday, October the 6th, 2014, and we've been on since about 5:45 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, Mountain Standard Time. Uh, Again, these shows are always broadcasted live somewhere between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So you can watch it here in the archives again for as many times you want during the course of 30 days, and then they get dropped out of the system. Or just go over to my YouTube channel, youtube.com, and type in Circle of Grace 1, and you'll see an ongoing one that runs. But if you go underneath that first little screen on my page on YouTube for Circle of Grace 1, you'll see a series of videos going underneath, and usually the furthest one over to the left is the most recent one. Then you can watch. Some of them are 30 minutes, some are 10 minutes, some will go over an hour, but you can see there's 60 plus videos right there. Thank you so much for watching the show. See you next week. Until next time, remember that divine grace is a blessing as we are alive and well in the age of remembrance. And oh, by the way, if you want to email me at iam.circleofgrace with the number 1 at the end at yahoo.com, or iam.circleofgrace1 at gmail.com, or Bishop Francis, BISHOPFRANCIS, at circleofgrace1.net. And like I always say, remember that divine grace is a blessing as we are alive and well in the age of remembrance. Thank you so much. See you soon.